Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Unplayable Podcast. I'm Josh Onafink, and I have to apologise because last week I didn't even introduce my co-host, Kane Richardson. So this week I'm going to give you the proper introduction. Australian bowler, Renegades, South Australia, Northern Territory strike, you name it. Richo, good to see you again.
Thank you. Can you have the little blurb where it has all my teams of cricket posts, so like 37 different teams? That'd be nice, but thanks for the introduction.
Well, actually, why don't we start that? Because I did look at your profile this week. You've played for 10 T20 teams. Do you reckon you can name them all?
No, I don't think I could.
How many can you name?
Oh, how long have we got? Renegades?
Yeah.
Strikers, South Australia. Does international count? No.
Yep. Yeah.
Aussies.
Yep.
Kent, Birmingham.
Good.
Dubai.
Yes. And there's a few in India.
IPLs.
Yeah.
RCB, Rajasthan, and defunct Pune Warriors. They're now defunct. I think that's it.
I think that's 10.
Is that 10? There you go.
You said South Australia, didn't you?
I did.
Yep. Very good.
Debut team. You don't forget your first love.
Well, you killed it. There you go. How easy was that?
Yeah, I guess it was. 10 sounds a lot, but it's actually not.
I'm going to start with the weekly winners this week because you're just going to give it to me anyway, so we don't even need to go there. My winner of this week is going to be the eventual winner of the Women's World Cup this year. Their prize money has skyrocketed at the upcoming tournament. They're now going to get 4.48 million as opposed to the 1.3 that the Aussies got in 2022. So that's a massive spike in the pay in the payout for the winning team at this World Cup.
That's a big carrot, isn't it?
Huge. So
there's some money in the game.
Yeah,
that's a massive increase.
There really is. And so the overall total prize pool has gone up from 3.5 mil to 13.88. So every team is going to walk away with a lot more than they would have last time.
Oh, that's good. I mean, we don't play for that. We want the medal around our neck and the trophy, but it's always nice to get a bit of cash in the pocket as well.
Doesn't hurt, does it?
Doesn't hurt. Exactly.
Who's your weekly winner?
My weekly winner is not you this week. I'm going women's game as well over at the 100. Davina Perrin from Northern Superchargers in the Eliminator. So we're going back a few days because they eventually won the competition and knocked off the undefeated Brave.
They did.
So there's storylines everywhere. Davina Perrin, 18-year-old, 42 ball 100 in the Eliminator against the defending champion London Spirit.
Wow.
They made 200. So 100 off 42. It's the second fastest in 100 history, but the fastest by a female. Second only to Harry Brook. So
one to watch.
18 years old.
Yeah.
In that pressure environment always means more in a final. And then, as we said, they went on to win the competition. So what a massive weekend for an 18-year-old.
Well done, Davina. That's massive. I think we'll be hearing more from her in the coming years, and we'll come back to the 100 as well. But let's start with the news out of the Australian men's squad. Mitchell Starc has announced his retirement from T20 internationals. There's a T20 World Cup only 6 or so months away, but the 35-year-old has decided to pull the pin on the format, and he's got one title to his name, so pretty good to go with 2 ODI World Cup titles, of course. 79 wickets in the format is the second most for Australia. What a all-format player he's been.
Yeah, it's interesting timing, but I think he thought, I'll get it in there for the boys on the pod because there's not a heap of cricket news going around. So I reckon he thought, what can I'll get involved here and give him something to talk about. So thanks, Mitch, for that. But we've spoken to him about him a bit going back a few weeks ago or a month ago when he was dominating in his 100th test, but just an all-format great. 65 T20 internationals, which probably to the average listener wouldn't seem like a lot, but when you play all formats as a fast bowler, you're managing workloads, you're resting. It's actually quite a lot. That's a lot of cricket. So if anything, his T20 hasn't been his highest priority throughout his career, whether it be IPL or international. And I'm not saying he didn't care about it. It's just that's just the way that it's kind of rolled with his management. So he's one of those current players who's played more ODI and List A cricket than they have T20 domestically as well. So, a bit of an anomaly there for someone who you do think about as a white ball great. So, interesting timing in the fact that could he have got to the World Cup? No doubt he could have, but he knows better than anyone what he wants to do with the rest of his career. So, great career. Hats off to him. And I think the good thing for Australia, there's some guys waiting in the wings ready to take that spot.
Yeah, and maybe Mitch thinks that he's still got the 2027 ODI World Cup in his sights. He's got an amazing record in that tournament, we know. And so given that as you said, it's not just the overs bowled, but it's the time on the road if you're committing to these 3 formats, which he has done for so long. Like it has to give at some point, I imagine.
Yeah, and we've seen guys in the last 6 months go the other way and give ODI cricket up. So he's kind of gone the other way. And as you say, you make a good point. His ODI legacy is unmatched. So for him, maybe 27 is the carrot that he wants to get to. And we all know that he's always put Test cricket first as well. So I'm sure he's got a lot that he wants to achieve still in both those formats. And T20 naturally just falls by the wayside. So, he knows better than anyone his management plan. As we've said, he could probably play another 5 years. Like really, the way he looks, the way he's bowling, there's no drop off in skill or pace. So if anything, it just makes that runway clearer for Nathan Ellis now. And that whole debate that's been, he's got to be in the team. Well, now he is, and it gives someone else the runway for the backup position or that in that squad. So that's probably the unselfish aspect of what Starc is thinking as well.
Yeah, now Nathan was probably rubbing his hands together, but now he's got Ben Dorshus, who's come and looking like another left armour who's done some really good stuff on the international stage as well. So it's not as if it's going to be Ellis's position just by nature of having a great past couple of years. He's going to have competition for that as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the narrative has been he should be in the team. Who is it going to be with? So now he's probably got the stocks, the runs on the board in terms of he's the guy and he deserves the opportunity. But you're right. It's on those guys now to put as much pressure as possible. Ben Dwarsh, Xavier Bartlett, Spencer Johnson we haven't spoken about because he's injured, but all of a sudden that left arm option, if Starkey's gone, then, he's 30, so there's a bit of time left in his career as well. So there's some opportunity for guys.
And I know that it's the Test summer that normally overlaps with the Big Bash stuff, but gee, it would be great to see Mitch play some Big Bash cricket at the end of his T20 career as well, wouldn't it? I mean, he's dominated every time he's rolled out for the Sixers in that comp, and I'm sure nothing would change if he got another crack.
Oh, it's those early Big Bash moments of him playing for the Sixers, knocking over, like a young Mitch Marsh, like they're iconic, and it would be nice for all of them to get an opportunity before they are done, because it is a great generation of Australian cricketers, and we have lost that part of, especially the bowlers like Hazelwood, Cummo, and Starkey to play Big Bash cricket. So it would be nice at some point if we can maybe manage the calendar and just, or these other guys take their spot and then they can come back to Big Bash and play a full season or two.
Now, the other news out of the New Zealand T20 squad that was announced on Tuesday was that Pat Cummins has a sore back. He won't be there in New Zealand, and it's looking probably unlikely that he'll take any part in that India series that will follow T20s, ODIs. It's 11 weeks until the first test against England. You know more about sore backs for fast bowlers than I do. What do you think is the situation here with Pat, and where do we go from here?
Yeah, it's not ideal to hear. I think the worry is missing that cricket before, which you would think is not a bad thing because he'll be fresh, but you need game time and you need bowling load. So not sure what the exact diagnosis is, and I'm sure in time we will find out. But there's a bit of talk about it. Obviously, it's super important for all formats, but especially the Test team, being the captain and the great that he is. So hopefully everything goes well from now to the first test and he's there. That'll be everyone's focus, and I'm sure it is for him, because that Indian series, whilst it is important for the T20 World Cup, you could also look at those ODIs and be like, well, that's probably not great for those fast bowlers to play in that, really, if we're prioritising the Ashes. So, I'm sure we'll find out more about what it is in the short term, and hopefully everything goes right from here to the first test in what is it, 2 months?
Yeah, bit over. Yep.
But that will come really quick, and as a fast bowler, it does. So fingers crossed.
And one thing you have to say about this Australian management is that their management of these fast bowlers over the past 5, 6, 7 years has been brilliant. I mean, there hasn't been many injuries to speak of from Cummins, Hazelwood, Starc, and then the replacement. So they've got it down to a fine science, these guys, and I'm sure that even if it comes to a point where, he's not playing all 5 tests of the Ashes series, they'll make sure that he's there for the big ones. Yeah,
and it makes it a little bit harder, though, when they are captain. And I guess it doesn't matter, because if you've got guys who can fill in, but he's such an important player, and the leadership credentials that he's built with Andrew McDonald and kind of that identity of that team has been built around their leadership. So, Yeah, I mean, ideally he's going to play every test, and he's spoken about it before that, maybe he won't, maybe he will, but he's always found a way to. So it will be a bit of an unknown if he does have to rest or misses the first test, and then all of a sudden, how much bowling has he had? Is he going to be right? So yeah, ideally everything goes right, but also you can't expect these guys to be able to play everything. Like we've spoken about it. You take them for granted, don't you? So now all of a sudden, look, there's a sore back. All of a sudden, people start losing their minds. But we've been so blessed for so long that this is the way it normally does go at some point.
Yeah.
So they'll figure it out.
And Cummins, it's a fascinating career because after his debut, he had about 6 years where he couldn't get on the park. And then since then, he's been indestructible almost.
Yeah.
I mean, he's barely missed a test match. There was one for some personal leave and maybe one for COVID. But beyond that, I mean, he's just been a warrior in terms of being able to keep and stay on the park.
Well, he turned his whole, like whenever the young Pat Cummins the burst on the scene, then all of a sudden it was he'd get injured, getting out of bed. And then all of a sudden it was like he's made of, he's like he's not even human. He's just always playing everything. So it's like he's flipped that narrative about himself so quick. But also we've spoken about these guys. They are getting to that mid-30 stage. Pat's a little bit younger, but this is natural. Like can't take it for granted. And I think your point about the management of them, Andrew McDonald, but also the support staff that go basically unnamed and unheralded. And I've seen it firsthand through World Cups and series how they manage. And they've been open to criticism from probably past greats who do it differently, but I think they've just stuck to task. And you can't argue, as you said, they've been very minimal injuries. They've won basically everything they've contested. So, yeah, I think a lot of credit goes to them as well.
Yeah, I remember during the 2023 ODI World Cup, we were about halfway through the tournament and I was staying in the same hotel as the team were, and out on the balcony one day or out in the sort of public area, the fast bowlers were jumping up and down on platforms and doing all these things. And I said to Ross Herridge, who is the strength and conditioning coach, like, what's going on here? Like, why are you doing all this? And he said, well, we just do testing right throughout the tournament just to make sure if there's any drop-offs, we're ahead of the game, we can see things coming. And yeah, it's that level of science that, as you say, goes unheralded because it doesn't get reported, and that's just the way that professional teams operate now. And I found it astounding just how they really hone in on every single aspect of the physical condition of their players.
Yeah, and like the public wouldn't see that, obviously, like that goes behind the scenes, but that doesn't get mentioned about enough. But we've also spoken about those three bowlers in particular, their work ethic and training habits behind the scenes. Like I'm sure when they're back in Sydney, they have their program, and you'll probably see them, whether it's Cricket New South Wales or it's a local gym or a local park, but they do the work, and like they do it away from people's eyes. So. They're three of the best. They're three of the most durable, but also like there comes a point where like everyone is human. There's going to be a point where someone's going to have something that's wrong with them. So again, a lot of water to go under the bridge. Hopefully he's right, but yeah, probably start getting used to this part of the test squad having to manage a little bit more.
Don't say it. They'll play forever. Speaking of that New Zealand T20 squad, there are a couple of inclusions from the recently concluded matches against South Africa. Marcus Stoinis, he's probably the big name who's come back into this squad. He missed that South Africa series, but he's had a very good 100 with the Trent Rockets, which included a 64 off, let me just find my notes here, 64 off 38 balls, 64 off 38 balls in the losing final to the Oval Invincibles, which we will get to. But it's good to see Stoinis back. He was such an integral member of that team at the last T20 World Cup in the West Indies. And even though Mitch Owen has arrived and Tim David's killing it, maybe there is still a spot for him in that lineup.
Well, yeah, it's good to see him back. I know George Bailey spoke about it, that the door wasn't shut for him. And since that comment, or since he spoke about that, Stoinis has put the performances on the board, and he's been doing it with the ball as well. Like his numbers in the 100 were really good. And then, as you said, he's backing it up with playing a different role in the middle order. And when I say different role, that's what he did for Australia. But his Big Bash stuff had been mainly at the top of the order. So now he's kind of going back to that role that he's performed so well for Australia. So, yeah, I mean, you've got that top order that's really set for the Aussies. Now it's throwing as many hats into the ring as possible to fill the hardest positions in the team. And he's got experience on his side. He's probably playing as well as he ever has in terms of he's doing it in all these formats, all these competitions around the world. So nice to see him back. This would probably be a last dance situation for him going for that World Cup, I would say. And if he's playing well enough, he should be there.
You couldn't play Stoinis, Owen, David and Maxwell in the same team, could you? Or is there a world where that could work?
Well, remember they need a backup wicketkeeper. So, well, I don't know. What's the order? Like, you have to go through it. You got your top three that are set. Inglis at 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 4 into 3. You're probably right. You can't fit them all into one team, but you can have them all in the squad, I guess, can't you?
Stoinis is taking the new ball. He could bat 8. Could that work?
He could. Well, Starc's out, so someone's going to take the new ball, don't they? Maybe he's in. Sorry, Nathan Ellis, you're still riding the bench. There's no doubt you fit them all in, and they'll give each one of those guys every opportunity to be in the team. Well, David picks himself, Maxwell picks himself. Yeah, you're right. It's probably a little competition now brewing between the younger all-rounder and the older one.
Yeah. Matt Short, he's had a wretched run with injuries over the past couple of months, but he's back. He'll get another crack at opening as well, I assume. You said that top 3 is pretty set, and it does look to be that way, but Short's a great one to have in the wings because we know just how handy he can be at the top and also with his off-spin, which could become a factor in the subcontinent.
Yeah, but he can also, like, to have a guy like that in your squad, he can play any role. If you need someone to come in, if it's someone's pulled up sore or sick on game day and you need him to bat 6, he can do that. He's a great fielder. So I know he's moved up to the Gold Coast recently, so I reckon the beach up here, I reckon his body's going to be, I reckon this is the new Matt Short, no more injury concerns. The beautiful salty water here is going to get him right in the sun. Get out of cold Melbourne. So, yeah, you can never have too many guys like that in your squad that can play different roles. He might be able to back up wicketkeeper as well. Did you have any influence in his decision to move up here? Did he consult you about the decision? No, he didn't. I think his wife's from here, so that probably helps. Yeah. Yep.
Very good. Let's talk about the 100 because 5 Australians won over the weekend, which was a few days ago now, but still worth touching on. We said that Marcus Stoinis had a great game in the final, but he came off on the losing side in the men's final. Adam Zampa, after his 34,000-kilometre round trip to bowl 20 balls, which was very highly publicised. Well, I think it was worth it. 1 for 21 in the final and his 3rd consecutive title. Jason Behrendorff took none for 16. He only bowled 2 sets of 5. But Zampa, I mean, he's done it again. And a replacement for Rashid Khan, why not just go and grab another title?
Well, they don't spare any expense at the ovals, do they? So you get Rashid Khan leaving to go play for Afghanistan, and who can we get? It's like, who's next on the chart on your depth board? We'll get Zampa, but he like you said, he won the last 2. He played for Surrey, which most of the guys are based at Surrey, so there's familiarity there. And they obviously knew he was going to pull up pretty well after a massive flight and play 2 days later. So I know I would be nervous. Like, I don't know, I haven't spoken to him about it, but to do that for a final, I'd be like, geez, I better bowl well.
Yeah, it's pressure, isn't it?
It is pressure. And all of a sudden, if you roll out and bowl 20 balls for 50, you're like, oh, they would have been better off playing like the local kid.
Yeah.
But he dealt with it well. Great team to come into. Like,
absolutely.
That team's so stacked. And to win 3 in a row in any competition in any sport is hard to do. So, I mean, hats off to them.
Well, speaking of pressure, have you ever been the overseas pro at like a local English club? I imagine that would come with it a lot of pressure. Like, you're expected to dominate every match.
No, I've never done overseas comps where, when you play overseas, there's always another overseas or 2.
True,
so
yeah.
you can share the blame and the criticism. But yeah, I'd imagine it's similar. Like, it's all on your shoulders. But it's not for him. Like, that team, like I've just said, he can roll in and bowl at an ideal time and just go to work. And yeah, it's just, I do take my hats off to them that they can prioritise winning, because a lot of teams in franchise cricket will prioritise the dollar and be like, we don't need Adam Zampa to come win a final. We're going to save the airfare, not worry about this. But no, they're all chips in to win another one, and they've won 3 in a row. So maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, the leadership of Sam Billings and Tom Moody, West Australian, they need to be probably looked at, because it's an amazing culture that they've built. And yes, as you say, they've got seemingly endless money and a great stack of players to choose from, but it still takes a lot of, know-how and probably a slice of luck as well to win 3 in a row, but it rarely happens in franchise cricket.
Well, I think the they're all in the salary cap the same. So it's not endless money in terms of what they can pay their
Seems
players.
like it, though.
It does. Like when you look at their team. But I think they've probably convinced guys to be a part of something special to take less than what, you look at, and maybe that will be their challenge now that guys have won 3 in a row and they're like, well, I've done, what's 4? I've done, 3 in a row. Now I want to be the highest paid player at the bottom team. You know what I mean? So that will be interesting to watch going forward. And we don't want to spend too much time on the 100, but for franchise cricket, that is the ultimate dilemma, is how do we keep players together that we really value, but their value has risen so high that we can't afford to keep them. So I guess that's a little bit of a watch this space.
Nathan Souter, he's the other one I want to talk about. He took 3 for 25 from 20 balls. If you haven't heard of him, that's okay, because he's a bit of a T20 specialist on the UK scene. But he was born in Penrith and he's a leg spinner. He took 3 wickets in 6 balls, including Joe Root and Tom Banton amongst that 3. He played under 23s for the Blues, but he's spent the last decade and a bit over in the United Kingdom. So have you played against him? Have you ever come up against Nathan Souter?
Yeah, he's plied his trade in, I think he was at Middlesex for a long time, recently Durham, but mainly at the Ovals in the 100. So really good operator, and they've done it a different way. They've always had 2 leg spinners. So like we said, the Rashid Khan Zampa thing, they've always liked to have him with another leggy. He's a gun fielder and one of the great celebrators as well, like just extreme passion, like intensity, but a really nice kid as well. So it's awesome to see, like, maybe he wouldn't have got an opportunity in domestic cricket here. All of a sudden you utilise a UK passport and you forge a really successful career in England. So, I mean, a lot of guys have done that in the past, but it's nice to have that option, and not everyone obviously has that option. So, well done to him. I did watch the highlights, and it was that set of 5 or 6 balls he bowled that was the game right there.
Yeah.
And I think he was man of the match in the final.
He was. Yep.
Which is, that's something you hold on to forever.
And some good celebrations too. On a scale of 1 to Imran Tahir, where does he sort of come in on that scale?
Well, he's not quite the same. He doesn't run as far, but it's like he turns into a different person. It's almost like he gets taken over by like a demon or something. And I think everyone in the team knows to just like let him go. Like they give him a high five and then just the floor is yours. So we spoke about celebrations last week with Cooper Connolly.
Oh, yeah,
so
we did, yeah.
It's a bit in vogue. I guess there's less to talk about, but we love a good celebration, don't we?
We do. The women's 100, there were plenty of celebrations there too, because 3 Aussies won the title for the Northern Superchargers against the, as you said, previously undefeated Southern Brave by 7 wickets. Annabelle Sutherland, 2 for 23 and 28 not in the final. Player of the match, Nicola Carey, 35 not out off 25 balls. She replaced Georgia Wareham halfway through the tournament, and we saw Georgia Wareham in a cardboard cutout on the podium after the match. Phoebe Litchfield was the player of the series. She was also at the Superchargers. She finished with 26 in the final and 292 runs for the tournament, which was the most out of anyone. And of course, their teammate is Davina Perrin, who you touched on. She didn't get too many runs in the final, but it didn't matter because the Aussies did the bulk of the work and took home the title.
Yeah, it's amazing to see a team that went undefeated. It was 8 and 0 and then make your way into the final and then lose. Like,
ouch.
That is tough. I remember that happened to the Melbourne Stars back in the early Big Bash days. They went undefeated and lost the semi back in the day where there wasn't a second chance. So, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow, but they don't have any Aussies, so we're not too concerned about them.
No,
we're all chips in the Superchargers, so well done, girls. Nicola Carey, she did it in the semi as well with Davina Perrin. She got 30 off 10 balls or something. So she's in ripper form. With what's coming up, it's nice to have some match winners playing well in competitions around the world.
Absolutely, yeah. That Carey knock from the eliminator that you touched on, she was facing Grace Harris for a set of 5 and went 4-4-4, 6-4 to finish the innings. So I think she got the bragging rights over her Aussie.
She liked what she saw there. That's filling your boots. At least Grace can bat.
Grace can bat, yeah. So it's not all about the bowling for her. And she had a good tournament as well. She finished with the highest strike rate out of any female player. And interestingly, second on that list was Nicola Carey and third was Phoebe Litchfield. So the Aussies just dominating the strike rate stats as well.
That's good to see. Selectors will be happy looking at all those numbers coming out of England. Good.
They will be. Let's give some more girls some love as well, because if we look through the leading run scorers for the tournament, we obviously had Litchfield in top, but Meg Lanning was second, Grace Harris was 7th, Elise Perry was 9th, Annabelle Sutherland 11th, Ash Gardner 14th. Just Aussies everywhere you look, and the same with the wickets tally. Annabelle Sutherland was second with 16. Megan Shute 6. She was 6th. Jess Jonathan was in 9th, and Alana King in 14th. So, I mean, it's not a surprise because Australia have been so dominant, but that's why that pretty much every team had at least one Aussie, and maybe that was Southern Braves' downfall in the end. Yeah.
Talk about list management, get some more Aussies next year. But it is a golden generation for the girls, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So you always look at it in the IPL and the men's. Whoever dominates international cricket, usually there's a good chunk of that team that will get picked up in the IPL, and I'm certain it's the same in the female game. So, this Aussie team, they've conquered everything. So why wouldn't we want to have as many of those girls as possible? So without taking, being silly about it, if you are doing a list manager and you're doing a draft, which we may get to, why wouldn't you want to get people who've won all around the world in?
Great point.
Yeah, especially in T20 format. So, it's not rocket science.
And people say that winning is a skill. Do you agree with that? Do you need to know how to win?
I think it's not a skill, but I think it's definitely a part of your psyche. Like growing up, a winner or a loser, honestly. And I think there's something to be studied in that. When it comes to recruiting players, have they been a good player in a team that never has been competitive and made finals and won finals, or are they a beautiful role player in a team that's super successful? So I think there's definitely something to look at in that.
Okay.
And I'm no doubt people do look at that.
Which category do you fall into?
Good stats, bad team. No, if I look at the Renegades over my years there was some pretty grim years. So
yeah,
good stats. Well, if you play well, that does help the team win.
That's right. Yeah.
So you could separate the argument, but you could bring it back to if I'm performing well, I'm trying to help the team win. It's not two separate things. So I think some of it is luck as well.
BBL 8 final, were you a part of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another one that had a lot of role players. I'd say that team.
Well, my first 2 years at the Renegades we made the semi and lost in Adelaide, and then we won the year after. They were the 2 years where I was like, this is a good team. I'm a role player in a good team. Whereas after that, quickly went the other way. It was like it was more a young team.
Yeah. Okay.
So you get two different kind of looks at the way it goes.
Okay. Moving on to the Women's ODI World Cup. That's coming up next month now that it's already September. The year is flying by. And we're expecting to get that ODI squad for the Aussies on Friday. And now some of the other nations have released their squad of 15, but we're still waiting for the Aussies. So I thought I'd have a go at perhaps giving you my squad or how I would go.
Yep.
And I got to say, there aren't a lot of surprises because this is such a solid team. And their last ODI was back in January in the Women's Ashes. So not a whole lot of, let's say, data to go off, but we've got lots of data from the 100. We've got the Australia A stuff as well. So injuries, hopefully aside, this is where I think they'll go. I've gone for batters and keepers, Healy, Mooney, Litchfield, Vol. Pretty easy.
Yep.
Now, a lot of all-rounders, just given how this team works. Ash Gardner, Talia McGrath, Annabelle Sutherland, Elise Perry. I've gone Grace Harris and Sophie Molyneux. Now, Molyneux's had that knee injury, but she is hopefully going to be okay, and we'll get that update later in this week. But I feel like Molyneux with her left arm spin will be a very important part of this team, especially with no Jess Jonathan on the national sort of setup at the minute. And then for the bowlers, I've gone Quicks, Darcy Brown, Megan Shute, Kim Garth, and then two leggies in Alana King and Georgia Wareham. Hopefully Georgia Wareham is okay because sort of as we touched on, she had to leave the 100 early, but she's a very handy player to have in that team. She can sort of bat anywhere now that she's had a bit of experience as a pinch hitter, very handy at 7 or 8, and we know how important leg spin can be. We're big fans of leggies on this show. And Alana King, of course, is there as well. So that would be my 15. A few asterisks maybe on Molyneux and Wareham, but hopefully all things going well there. They will be fit and ready to go.
Yeah, like it. Any standby players?
Well, I do actually, because you can take a travelling reserve or two. You know me too well. Nicola Carey, I'm giving her... based on what she's done in the past, couple of weeks, giving her that travelling reserve because she's a versatile player. Another pace bowling option. There's lots of spin options in that squad of mine. So she gives another sort of medium pace option. And then if we want to add a backup batter / keeper, I'm going to go Talia Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know that we've got Beth Mooney there in the squad who can take the gloves if something, God forbid, happens to Healy. But I really like Talia Wilson's batting. She's a really impressive batter, and if they need someone else to slot into that top order, she's the one.
I like it. Job done. Send that through after this pod to
Shell. Yeah, Shelley Nitsky. Yep.
Submitted. Like you said, a lot of it picks itself, but like even the reserve, Nicola Carey, any other country would
jump at her.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just and you say Jess Jonason's not even in the reckoning at the moment. Like there's Meg Lanning retired. Like imagine if you there's a free agency and other countries could take some of these players. Like it is like we've said, a golden generation. So hopefully that means a success. Another World Cup for him.
Really hoping for some luck for Molyneux as well. Since her debut in the format 6 years ago, she's only played 13 of a possible 64 ODIs, and I think she deserves a bit more game time than that. So, but then again, once you've picked this 15, trying to squeeze them into 11, that's the next hardest thing.
Well, that's never easy at a World Cup. There's always going to be tough stories, but it is mix and match as well. And like you said about Sophie Molyneux, her skill set for those conditions it suits perfectly. So hopefully she's right to go. But yeah, the bench strength is always the team that wins a World Cup always has people playing on aren't playing that should be playing that you could argue would play for any other country. So good problem to have.
Yeah, those Aussie women have a couple of ODIs against India in the lead up to that World Cup. So just how those 11s are structured will be fascinating to watch. Now, Richo, I wanted to raise this little point for our next segment, Big Bash Greats, because I was reading an article during the week and it had listed or described Kane Richardson as a Big Bash great.
Really?
So
did I write that? That was a private text.
So it got me thinking, who are the greats of the Big Bash? Because we've had 10 seasons of the women's Big Bash and we've had 14 of the men's. I think there's enough data there to maybe allow us to look at who are the greats of the league, because we've had some incredible internationals, some unbelievable domestic players.
Yeah.
So do you reckon we can sort of narrow it down?
Yeah, I think we could. How many do we get each?
So I was thinking maybe the best way is to do it is to go in sort of a draft system. We pick one at a time.
Yep.
And then once we have 5 each, we've then sort of got a list of 10 from each competition.
Okay. Yep.
When I worked at the AFL, they had a very strict editorial guideline about who you could name a superstar. For example, you can't just call anybody from any player a superstar in your copy. We had a certain list of 7 or 6, and they were the exclusive superstars. So this might be a similar sort of thing. We can't just call anybody a great of the league.
So is a great and a superstar different, or are they the same?
Well, they were different at the AFL, but what do you want to go with? Do you want to go with superstar?
Superstar is top.
It's a much better
That's platinum
adjective, isn't it?
Great. I feel like great is like when you're a bit older, you've been around, longevity. you maybe touched it, but you're just below it. That's a great.
Okay, we can go with Big Bash superstars.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I like that.
All right, why don't you go first? Let's start with the
first pick.
Yeah, first pick for the WBBL. Why don't we start there?
Oh, that's tough. I have my bias because of being a bowler, but I'm going to take I'm so torn between an all-rounder or a batter, but I'm going to take Jess Jonason.
Wow, okay, yep, like it.
Just because of I love all-rounders.
Yep.
If she misses out with the bat, get him with the ball. Winner, we speak about winning stuff.
Absolutely.
Been successful at the Brisbane Heat, so I'll take number 1.
And I think, she's sitting the most wickets in the league out of anybody, 179 in 10 years.
I'm sure her runs would be.
That's pretty good going.
Pretty good as well.
Absolutely. Well, you've gone an all-rounder. I'm going to go one as well. Sophie Devine.
Yeah.
I just feel like there were those middle years, maybe WBBL 5 or 6, where she was just crushing everybody. I think she hit Maddie Penner for 5 sixes in an over. And she takes the new ball. She can bat anywhere. Sophie's my...
So overseas, how many overseas?
Oh,
as many as you want.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. No rules.
You realise this is an Australian cricket podcast.
I think our Australian listeners would agree that Sophie has been an unbelievable player in the league.
Yep, no doubting at all. No doubting at all that. I'll give you that. All right, so I'm on the clock. 5 players. How many female and male do you want to?
I was just going to do female first. And then...
we're doing 5 for the females, 5 for the men?
Does that work?
So it's a team of 10. And then we're the 11th.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll do that. All right, I'll take Elise Perry, second pick.
Yeah, that's very solid.
I don't even need to go into why. She picks herself.
Yeah. I'll give you a stat though. Second most runs in the league and a one club player as well. That's rare these days.
That is loyalty.
Well, I have to go Beth Mooney. Not a one club player, but an absolute great. Couple of titles with the Heat. Dominates for Perth. And most runs. Only played to hit 5,000 in either league, actually.
Average of 46.
Yeah. Hard to go wrong with Beth.
Pretty safe choice. So I'm saying Perry's bowling, prime Elise Perry.
Okay.
So getting 4 overs out of her and Jess. So I'm going to go batting and I'm going to go Elise Villani.
Okay.
In the batting.
Yeah. What you thinking there?
4th all-time run scorers.
Yeah.
Well, I've got Elise Perry who's second. You've got Soph who's third, and Beth who's first. So I've just gone the 4th leading run scorer because I need an opening batter.
Super consistent.
Yeah, super consistent. Winner again in domestic cricket. Just shores up my team beautifully.
Well, that leaves Meg Lanning wide open for me, so I'll jump on her.
Yep.
She can face the first ball and probably punch out 100.
Wow, yeah, she's still doing it for the ovals in the hundreds.
Yeah,
so.
Another great tournament for her.
Yep. Can't argue with that. I'll just write that down so I know I can't pick her. Next, I need a keeper, and I'll go Alyssa Healy.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Because we want a keeper. We don't want a game day to be like, who's going to take the gloves?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It matters, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, keepers are important. And maybe there haven't been as many dominant keepers in the men's game as the women's game. So a good one to tick off early. I'm going to go for Megan Shute. We spoke about her last week, and what a gun. You can just bank on her, take those power play overs, get lots of swing. Probably doesn't offer a heap with the bat, but that's okay.
Don't need it to,
That's not her role.
That's not her role at all. She's a star.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, she was 6th in the wickets in the 100, so getting it done overseas, so skillful. I've got one more. I'm going to go spin.
Ooh.
I'm going Amanda Wellington.
Okay, yep. Leg spin.
Yep, leg spin, wicket taker. Her and Jess through the middle, spinners.
Yeah, that's good.
I think good luck playing that. These teams are obviously going to play.
Okay, well, we'll make that work.
Yeah, cool.
And then for me, I'm going to go another international. Is that controversial? I'm going to go Marizanne Cap.
Yeah.
Again, not much really has to be said about Marizanne. Just fronts up, does her role, can bat anywhere in the order, takes a new ball if she wants, can also bowl to death. Good fielder.
Competitor.
Good leader. Good competitor.
Competes.
Good celebrator.
Yes. Gets in. I think she's one of those players that when she bats, she hates bowlers, and when she bowls, she hates batters. Like she just flips, which you love turning on the TV and seeing that.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that's our females done. Let's do our males. Who do you want to go for first here?
So superstar status?
Yeah.
Give me Glenn Maxwell.
Okay. Straight off the bat.
Well,
no question.
I think I'm going all rounder heavy and spin heavy here.
That's okay. Yeah.
But we'll play all over the world in this series, so I think it'll even out. Just a gun over a long period of time. Still now bowling evolving, still getting it done, batting in the field. So genuine superstar.
And still taking boundary catches like nobody else can do that. And he's 36 and he's jumping over and jumping back and makes it look easy.
He does, yeah. For that age, as you said, it's still super impressive. So give me Maxi.
He says he's not as agile as he used to be, but I don't know if that's true.
I think he's just playing. I think he's trying to sound modest there. He's definitely. I don't think in any way he is changed athletically in his time. So, yeah, cut it out.
My first pick here, and maybe a little controversial, but I feel like he had such a massive impact on the popularity of the league. Chris Lynn.
Not controversial.
Okay, yep.
Well, he's one of the founding members, you would say.
That's true.
One of the OGs.
Big hitter.
No
sixes, I think.
Yeah. Did it in his own style, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Synonymous with the Heat early and then changed to Adelaide lately, but still, what would he be? Top 2, 3 run scorer? He'd probably be
first. He's top. He is top.
He's still top.
So not controversial, but...
Only question is durability. You might need a travelling reserve just because if he dives in the field...
Yeah, that shoulder.
But you get if he's got bat in hand, you're getting exactly what you want. I'm on the clock. I'll go leading wicket taker in Big Bash history, Sean Abbott.
Okay, yep.
Just a ultimate, just gets it done. No matter the conditions, no matter the opposition, we'll just take wickets. Ridiculous strike rate. Economy a bit high, but that's fine because I've got the spinners in the middle to suffocate, so he can just hunt.
He bowls the tough overs.
He does, and that's also the point I've picked him. So,
and it feels like every time he bowls at the death, he just gets 2 or 3 wickets.
Well, that's the beauty. If you look at his numbers, like I just said, his economy's high. He bowls hard overs. He's going to go for runs. What's the best way to combat that? Take wickets, and he does that better than anyone.
Is bowling at the death harder than batting at the death in T20 cricket?
I'm going to say it is. I think more can go wrong for the bowler. What's the worst case scenario for a batter?
Wow, swing and a miss 6 times.
Yeah, but then you hit one in the air and you made 1 off 5 and everyone goes, oh, he just had a bad night. Whereas if for a bowler, you go for 60 and everyone's like, he's awful.
He's the worst.
He's the worst bowler ever. Whereas a batter, you're like, next game.
Yeah.
That's my input.
Okay, I need to get a spinner because I don't have a spinner yet, so it's an obvious one for me. I'm going to go another international, Rashid Khan.
I just crossed off Zampa thinking.
Sorry, Zamps, but like the Oval Invincibles, I've just gone Rashid first. You'll be next. Yeah, Rashid Khan. I mean, how can you not pick Rashid Khan? He's been a superstar of the leg. Nobody can doubt that.
Yeah.
He's not high up the wicket takers list, but for impact, he's right up there for me.
Yeah, he almost forged his name was rising through the ranks was when he signed to play BBL, and then all of a sudden, within 12 months, he was the best T20 player in the world.
Yep. That was a great pickup by the Strikers.
Yeah, it was.
That was back in 2017.
Yeah, kind of just as the ahead of the curve before everyone wanted a piece of him. So, and to be fair, he prioritised playing for them for a long period of time, and they got every bit out of him. So, what a wonderful player. I will go next. I will go with my old captain at the Melbourne Renegades. Talk about superstars of the competition. Can open the batting with Elise Villani, Aaron Finch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've got captains everywhere, so there's no lack of leadership as well, but I'll give him the captain's armband. He can tactical genius, strategy on field, bowling changes, stays in the game.
Yeah, when the broadcasters say we need someone to go on the mic.
Always your man. Especially when it's like he knows it's on, all of a sudden he comes to life. So,
was there a difference in his on-mic personality?
He was much more well-behaved, much more well-spoken, much more accommodating to the bowler's thoughts when the mic was on. So, I'm only kidding. I'm kind of kidding.
Okay. Let's see. Which bowlers do I have? I've got Shoot, Cap, Rashid, Divine. So, I'm going okay for bowlers at the minute. Let's get some more firepower in there. I reckon Sean Marsh. I don't have any left-handed batters. He's a good one for me. He's obviously had an amazing career with the Scorchers and then the Renegades. He also continued for a little bit there. Classy player. Can hit to some interesting pockets of the ground. And lovely to watch. Just
a great guy to have in your team. He was next on my list, actually. I wanted him and Finch together. But just his stats, like his average was almost higher than anyone throughout that period of time. Made the big decision to come over to the Renegades from Perth, and I think he's one of those guys you just love playing with. Just a great man. And was devastated when he retired because I think he still had a year to go on his contract. And everyone was like, no, just come back. You don't even have to play, just come back. So,
and one of these guys who are rare these days, but doesn't really love the limelight, softly spoken, does minimal interviews.
I think he just turns up one time a year when the Aussies play in Perth and Mitch is playing, and then he'll just disappear and you won't see him again. He's very softly spoken but beautiful man. I'll go with my boy Adam Zampa. I don't need him.
But you just don't want me to have him.
I don't want you to have him. I've got so much spin bowling, but I think we struggle to play it, especially in the middle overs. So
Okay. Yep. Right.
I'll have him. We've actually joked that we're going to build a Big Bash team on the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Which I'm groundbreaking. This is breaking news. We're going to be
Expansion side.
expansion side, because we don't want to fly anymore. We want to drive to games sometimes, and so I'm getting him as a way to maybe we're going to be branded as the new Gold Coast BBL team.
Get Matt Short on board.
Shorty's on. There's a few players. Matt Kuhneman's from the Gold Coast.
Xavier Bartlett.
We've got a few. Don't worry. We've got our scouts who are out there. So we're just working on a name.
Well, you can't be the Suns.
No, we can't.
Can't be the Titans.
True. No, that's a good point.
So any front runners at this
He wants
stage?
to be the Gold Coast Magic.
Oh, right.
So I'm not sure why.
Bit of Orlando inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know
there.
why that's his don't know. That's what he's run with. So he presented the cap to someone recently who debuted.
Matt Kuhneman.
And he said, if you go back and listen to the video, he mentioned the Gold Coast Magic.
Okay.
That was he said, after this cap, the next one you'll be receiving is that for the Gold Coast Magic. So this is the start of it.
Well, the cricket club here are the Dolphins, aren't they? So could you just morph Dolphins into a Big Bash entity?
I think the Big Bash has certain rules around team names. They can't be an animal.
Can they? Can't they?
I remember when they were going through the early stages of the branding, and as players, we were naturally like, no, we should be this. And they're like, you can't be an animal.
Really? I did not know that.
I think there was certain criteria that you had to meet. So whilst the Dolphins would be good to bring that up, and I don't think it'll work.
No animals. Okay.
Well, there isn't, is there?
No, there's not.
Yeah.
I'd never consider that. Okay. How many do we have left? I've got one to go, I think, and so do you. I'm going to go I'm going to have to go fast bowler. Jason Behrendorff.
Safe choice.
Love the way he goes about it. Again, a left armour helps. And he seems to be getting better with age as well.
Yeah, he played an important role in the 100 for the ovals that just won. His wickets weren't as high as probably what he's normally used to, but if you're getting someone to bowl new ball, that's as safe as pick as you'll find, because just genuinely consistent. You know what you're going to get.
His economy rate of 7.02 is the lowest of the top 15 wicket takers in history. So that gets
including
wickets.
Spinners or for fast bowlers?
Yeah, including spinners, yeah.
I think he's, for a lot of time at Perth, definitely bowled at the start of the innings, but that can also be sometimes the hardest time to bowl. So, that's a great start. 7.02.
Yep. Yeah, that's great numbers.
Great numbers. All right. So how many left?
You've got one to go.
I will take another captain, another all-rounder in his prime, Moses Enriquez.
Oh, right.
I'm just loading up in both. I'm sitting on the fence.
Yep.
But when you talk superstars, another OG of the Big Bash, founding member.
Definitely.
There's not many left.
And how many titles has he won?
Winner, culture,
Multiple.
change room. I'm trying to think the OGs. Maxwell, Abbott, Finch, Enriquez. Well, Finch no longer plays, but they're the ones who the competition was built upon. You've got Lynn.
Yeah. Well, and in the female game as well. Jonathan Healy, you've got Perry.
Exactly. Yep.
All of them, basically.
Decades of experience.
Yeah. So I've got one to go. If you're playing for your team, can I pick you or not?
No. I'm not in the what was I tagged as?
A grade.
Not a superstar.
Okay. Right. Daniel Sams for me. Again, a versatile player, big hitter, left armour.
Yeah.
Bowls quick and a pretty good fielder. So Sams, he gives me just a bit of versatility in that middle order.
Prototypical T20 player, modern, like just all facets of the game. He's a lead at. So good pick. That's a couple of good teams.
Very strong. Yeah, we'll put those up on our socials.
There's a weak link in your team.
The 11th.
You. We're licking our lips looking at you. So
well, I'll be number 11 then, non-bowling. So
yeah, so you're playing with 10.
Put me at short fine.
You got good uniforms though, don't you?
Yeah, I can bring the kit game.
Yeah, love it.
Good work, mate. Okay.
Enjoyable exercise that.
We'll put those up on the socials and people can see which team wins. But again, I think I might handicap my side quite a bit. The Ashes Deep Dives, we're 4 episodes into that series. The final episode, the 5th test of that series, that will be released on Monday, the 8th of September. So stick around for that. It's a good way to wrap up that series. It's been a fun process walking through the 2005 Ashes series. Andrew Ramsey and Louis Cameron, Adam Burnett, they've been great. So that comes into your Unplayable podcast feed. So check it out. What a series, mate. I mean, yeah, doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, we had Casper on for that episode. But yeah, it was so good to think back. Like, it's crazy. It's been that long since watching that. So one of the great series. 25 years, maybe in what's it been? 20.
It's been 20 this year.
20 years. So maybe in maybe in 30 years' time, let's meet back here and do a 50-year anniversary and see what we remember. Maybe.
All right. Speaking of the Ashes, Jamie Overton out of the England camp has decided to take an indefinite break from red ball cricket. He played the most recent test match for England against India just last month, but he's now ruled himself out of the Ashes. Richo, it means that he's potentially going to be available to play for the Adelaide Strikers, but it does mean that we won't see him in the Ashes, which is, for me, a strange decision.
Yeah.
What do you think the thinking is there?
No, definitely interesting. I know Harry Brook said he was shocked by it. So if it's taking your teammates by surprise, it's definitely a bit shocking. I think the timing, he would have 100% been in that squad. He played the last test. He's that prototype that Brendan McCullum likes, bowls fast, bats, competitor. All the things that the Adelaide Strikers are happy. They're probably stoked today. They're waking up seeing that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, disappointing, I think, for fans not to be able to see him. And the Ashes is what you grow up wanting to be a part of. I know if I was in his position, I would definitely be wanting to do that. Because franchise cricket's always going to be there. There's a million leagues going around, but he knows himself better than anyone. He knows his management. Maybe his body's not up to it. So in that case, it's probably an unselfish thing to do. But it's not something you see every day.
And I don't know if this had any impact in his decision, but the intense microscope that comes with an away Ashes series for England especially, that would be pretty daunting. And maybe he just didn't want to be a part of the circus that is, an Ashes series.
Possibly. He seems like the guy that would thrive in that, though. Like, just from seeing, I haven't seen him in red ball cricket, but I think in the Big Bash, he's always in the contest. He's like, if there's a wide called against him, he's interrogating the umpire. Like, he's that kind of guy. I reckon he would thrive. And that's why I think it's a little bit of a shame that we won't get to see him in it, because I reckon he'd be the ultimate villain for Australian fans.
And we need a villain.
We do, but I reckon he would have thrived in those conditions. So, well.
Well, no Stuart Broad. Who is going to be the villain for Australia?
There's enough.
Joffre, I guess he's one.
There's Ben Stokes.
Yeah, Stokes.
He's not one to back down either. You can pick any of them. Joe Root's probably not going to be the villain, is he?
No,
but
he'll score runs.
He'll just go about his business. I would say Ben Stokes, because again, he's not going to back down from anyone. So, Stuart Broad's on comms as well, so he'll still be around.
He'll be fanning the flames.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on the Big Bash side of things, Richo, we're still waiting for some news about your playing situation. Is there any news going to come to light about where you're going to be playing this season?
Well, the Gold Coast Magic, so that's still in the works, but that won't be this year. So, just working through it at the moment. Should have something soon.
Okay.
Yeah, soon.
Good to hear. Yep. Very good to hear. Another enjoyable episode, mate.
Yep, love that. No question again?
Well, I know I did tease it last week, but maybe a little bit of, let's just say, disorganisation on my part. But next week...
I think we put it to bed.
Next week.
We bury it.
Give it one more week.
All right, I'll give it one more week.
Okay.
I've handed out the email to everyone I've seen in the street. So if they're not coming in, then we put it to bed.
Podcasts at cricket.com.au. Get them in. Ask Richo. Mate, we'll catch you next week.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Josh.